If you and your partner have ever had a fight over money, maybe it's a disagreement around how the money's been spent. Maybe it's frustration that there just never seems to be enough money in the bank account. Or maybe it's that constant pressure of trying to keep up. Please be assured that you are not alone. Money fights and poor communication around money are one of the leading causes of separation and divorce in many Western nations. But it doesn't have to be this way. There is a fix, and it is simpler than you think. Over the past 35 years, I've had the privilege to help literally thousands of couples all over the world get on the same page financially. It is by far one of the things I love most about what I do, because I've seen the transformation that occurs when couples choose to make money a strength in their relationship rather than a source of stress. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 very simple rules that I give to every couple that I work with to help them get on the same page financially and to remove the financial tension in their relationship. And if after watching this video, you would like access to some of the resources that I use with my clients, then please check out the link in the description below. So in this video, the first thing we're going to look at is, where are we headed as a couple? What is the destination? What are those big mutual goals that we are working towards? Then we're going to have a look at the importance of understanding what all of your expenses are. Where is the money going? We're going to cover the important rule of total transparency within your relationship. We're then going to have a look at a very simple bank account structure that you can use that will harness your cash flow and help you maximize your savings together. And then we're going to have a look at the importance of having a monthly check-in. Rule number 1 is to get clear on your destination as a couple. What do you want your lives to look like together? This is really important. It amazes me how few couples take the time to sit down and really work through, well, what do we want our life to look like? What do we want it to look like on a day-to-day basis? What do we want it to look like in 5 years' time? What do we want it to look like in 10 years' time? And what are those big life goals that we're working towards? Taking the time to sit down and work that through. It might be that one of you says, hey, I would rather not commute more than half an hour a day to work so that we have more time together as a family. So that's going to dictate either where you live or what kind of job you take on. It might be that, hey, we don't want to put the kids into childcare. We would rather have mum or dad stay at home during those first 5 years of our child's life. Okay, so how is that going to shape how you manage your finances? It might be that, hey, we want to buy a house as quickly as we can and get it paid off as quickly as you can. How is that going to start dictating the way that you manage your finances? My experience is that when couples come together and they've worked out what they want their lives to look like and what those big goals are that they're both excited to be working towards, then the spender in the relationship is happy to pull that spending in a little bit because they can see that there is money going towards a goal that they care about. And when we look at the saver is often willing to compromise a little bit to allow a little bit more freedom in the budget because they're confident that they are working towards a goal that is important, and therefore they don't need to be as tight, they don't need to be as controlling, because they know there's a plan in place and that they're both on the same page working towards the same goal. Now, if you would like a copy of my Life by Design worksheet, which is the process that I take all of my clients through, then can I encourage you to check out the link in the description below. These worksheets will help you work through, what is important to me, what do I want my life to look like today, and what are those big life goals we're working towards in the future. So I can't encourage you enough, grab a copy of those because it'll help you as a couple work through that. Rule number 2 is to get clarity on what all of your expenses are. This is so important to know where your money is going. I'll regularly have couples come to see me, and one of them is a money manager in the relationship, and they say, well, Phil, I know what all our expenses are. I've got them here on this beautiful spreadsheet, and they'll open up their laptop. But on the laptop, they have what their loan repayments are. They have what their utility bills are. They have the car registration. They have their insurances, but they don't have much more than that. And I say, well, that's great, that's the bills, but that's not typically where we overspend. What I need to know is, well, what do you spend on groceries? What do you spend on hobbies and sports and pets and gifts and all those kinds of things? And they just look at me, but they got no idea. This is what we need to understand, is where is your money going? You can see this on the right hand side. There's a copy of my Power of Budgeting Plus worksheets. You can grab a PDF version of those or a Google spreadsheet version of those in the link in the description below. They're free. You can access those to help you work through what are all of our expenses. Because what we want to be able to see is your income and expenses both as a monthly figure, so we can make an apples to apples comparison. Here is what I earn on a monthly basis, or here is our household income as a monthly figure. And then we want to be able to see, well, what do I need to allocate to all of my expenses on a monthly basis so that when they turn up, I've just got the money sitting there ready to go. And this allows us to identify a very definite monthly surplus. So you can see with these clients, their monthly income is $7,366. What they allocate to all of their expenses adds up to $6,643. So we can see that if they stick to what they're allowing here, they should have a $700 surplus per month. And once we know that figure, then we can start to work towards goals, knowing that that's what we should be able to save every single month. So really important. Take the time to understand what all of your expenses are. Now, I hope that this video has been helpful so far. If it has, can I please encourage you to click the like button, because that really helps my channel, this content, to reach more couples just like you. And please subscribe, because every week I release more practical, no fluff money videos to help you and your family thrive financially. So please click the like and subscribe. Rule number 3, total transparency. This is so important. This is the foundation of a healthy relationship. And when I'm working with couples, I expect them to be honest and transparent with each other. I also expect them to be honest and transparent with me. So this means no secret accounts, no hidden debts, no undisclosed income that we're squirreling away and spending by ourselves, no spending cover-ups. And importantly, we want to move from the yours and mine mentality to the ours mentality. Really important that we get this right and that we commit to making this a part of our relationship. Total transparency in every area of our finances. Rule number 4 is one simple system to manage your finances as a couple. So this means a joint bank account structure. Now, this is a system that I've used with my clients for over 30 years. It's very simple but very powerful. And by having joint accounts, it allows us not only to have the transparency, but it allows us to harness our cash flow and maximize our savings as well. So what we've got is all income. So his and hers income coming into a joint central account. From this central account, this is where most of our money accumulates for all our big upcoming bills and expenses. This is where we pay for those expenses via direct debit, via transfers, via a credit card or debit card. Very simple. 95% of our transactions will occur from this one account, so it becomes very easy to track. The one exception to this is we have an everyday account for our more discretionary consumable expenses. Things like the groceries, the petrol, the parking, the bought coffees, the bought lunches, the takeaway, the day-to-day entertainment. All of that can sit in a everyday account. And the simple rule to this is on the first day of the month, we transfer this much money into that account. And then that's all we've got for the month. We need to make it last. And so very simple rule that if we run out, bad luck, it's baked beans and mashed potatoes for the rest of the month. Now, of course, we want to make sure that the figure that we put into that everyday account is a reasonable figure, but it does help us harness and pace our spending. The number of clients that I've had, literally hundreds of clients that have come back to me and said, Phil, we never realized how much money we were wasting on those consumable discretionary expenses. But now that we've got an established amount in that account, we're spending hundreds of dollars less and we're not even missing it. So having that everyday account separate is a very, very powerful tool. And then, of course, we want to have a savings account where we can take any surplus out of our central working account into our savings account to build up our rainy day fund, to build up our cash reserve, to start paying off debt, and ultimately to work towards big life goals. So that's the basic structure. I do have a much more comprehensive video on the ideal bank account structure for a couple. So that is in the link in the description below. So check that out. But there is a secondary component to that, and this is, importantly, having a bank account structure is going to ensure we've got no lazy money. We don't want any lazy money. Every bank account has a job, and every dollar has a purpose. This is really important. And then we want a his and hers account. Now, I regularly have clients who'll say to me, but Phil, if we have these joint accounts, what happens if I want to buy my wife some flowers, or I want to buy my husband a present? How am I going to do that? And so having a his and hers account is a very small amount of money that we can allocate to each other on the first day of each month. There's no accountability for this. You can spend it however you like, but it shouldn't be a big figure. Somewhere around that $50 to $100 a month is all it should be. But that is your purely discretionary spending money. So that is the ideal system, the ideal bank account system in a nutshell. And it's important that is a joint bank account system again, so that we've got the transparency, so that we can harness our cash flow and we can maximize our savings. Rule number 5 is to establish a regular money check-in. This is really important. Money is central to everything that we do in life, and it's important that we take a moment to pause, to stop, and to check that we are heading in the right direction, that we are progressing towards those big life goals that we've set ourselves. Whenever I take on a couple to work with, we always work together for at least 6 months and often 12 months to help them establish these rhythms in their relationship, so that once we stop working together, they know exactly what they need to do in these monthly check-ins. So ideally, we want to create a very simple routine. We want to be able to review our spending, so have some method to review our spending on a monthly basis to make sure that what we're spending isn't aligned with what we thought we were spending. If it's not, we can then tweak our budget a little bit. And of course, with cost of living getting more expensive, particularly right now, with fuel prices going up, there are going to have to be tweaks from time to time. And we all know the power bills keep going up and the insurances keep going up. So we do need to tweak things, which is another reason why we need these regular check-ins. We also then need to identify, did we have some surplus cash flow? When we look at our central bank account, is there more in there than we need? Fantastic. If there is, let's take that out and let's put that into our savings account as we work towards those big life goals. We then want to decide, well, okay, if it's not into that savings account, are we allocating that surplus funds to our debt repayments? Are we allocating it towards a big life goal? Are we allocating it towards investments? Being very clear on what is the next step in our journey, and are we taking that surplus and directing it towards that, so that there is no lazy money sitting in our bank accounts. Every bank account has a purpose and every dollar has a job. And this money check-in will help us make sure that is happening. So let's finish up with a really quick summary. The first thing we went through was rule number 1, where we looked at the importance of getting on the same page financially in terms of the destination. What do we want our life to look like, and what are those big mutual goals that we're going to work towards that excite us both? Then we had a look at the importance of getting really clear on what all of your expenses are. Where is your money going, so we can make that apples to apples comparison between here is what our monthly income is, here is what we need to allocate to all our expenses on a monthly basis, and what is our surplus. We then looked at rule number 3, which was total transparency, the importance of being absolutely honest with each other. No secret accounts, no secret sources of income, no spending that we're not disclosing to each other, but being absolutely honest and thinking about our finances as ours and not yours or mine. Rule number 4 was to look at creating some kind of simple money management system, setting up the ideal bank account structure so that you can harness your cash flow and maximize your savings. And then the final rule we looked at was committing to having a regular money check-in. Ideally, this is weekly, but monthly at a minimum. This just helps us make sure that everything is on track. Now, thank you so much for watching this video. I genuinely hope that it's been helpful and that it's given you some real food for thought as to how you and your partner can make money a strength in your relationship. And if you would like to find out more about what I do and how I work with couples, then can I encourage you to check out the link in the description below to the Money Boss Academy. And please remember, there is a bunch of resources down there that you can access. They're all free. So check out the link. And if you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Otherwise, take care, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.